Did you know that in Proverbs 31, that's the Old Testament, the woman is the one that makes the living. But not just that, she makes the living, she buys the land, she just works night and day, taking care of her husband, taking care of the house, taking care of her kids, taking care of the servants, while her husband sits in the gates with the elders, but it doesn't indicate that he makes a living, because he's just hanging out with the boys, probably some of them at the bathhouse. No, it says she does everything. She considers a field and buys it out of her earnings. She plants a vineyard, invests profits wisely, and makes linen garments and sells them and supplies the merchants and sashes. Her lamp burns late as she ensures her trading is profitable, funding family provisions while managing servants. Yes, she handles all of it. And then it says her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land, indicating civic leadership or elder status at the city gate, ancient Israel's hub for justice, commerce, and governance. And so that makes sense because, that's the Old Testament, and, with the original sin, God had said the woman would desire what her husband did. So, of course, the husband would be like, you need to do everything. I'm going to be out with the boys. Yeah. So you could see why even more than when Jesus came, that was a threat. Men were never going to want to come into union with women. Not most. Not really, no. So I'm saying this because this is the reason why there's been this attack at biological women. There's always been this reason to just push biological women aside. Either the lunatics on the left, the men that put on their dresses and say, no, we need our rights to be acknowledged, men. Or the right puts their Turning Point and Charlie Kirk out in everybody's face and tells them women need to submit to the man, and we need if masculinity doesn't return, men will leave society. Talk about babies. I mean, Charlie Kirk was so infantile. But then, all of the media, all of you Republicans from the White House on, you all supported him. You all showed that none of you ever cared about biological women, and neither did the left. Listen to me. The only person that's ever cared about biological women is Jesus. He really is. And because none of them wanted to, Charlie Kirk, the SOB, wanted to run around telling women to take a lesson from Mary. Well, his ass should have been taking a lesson from Jesus. Then maybe he would have been a man. And yet J.D. Vance and Greg Abbott and all of you bastards, you put that up on some pedestal, showing that there's no growth. And what God shows me is because their mind is sick. Their mind is so sick because they will never let me in. And so they keep the world sick. And you can't get away from it. Because the left, their men will just put dresses on and still trample all over biological women. Oh, we have to go in your bathrooms and your dressing rooms and everywhere because it's about our rights. And both being men that are sick in their mind, and in their heart is just like shot. And yet Charlie Kirk, the man that Fox News and Erica Kirk wants to praise, but she's no better, she, he, whatever it is, nor is any of the news media, because you all serve the same agenda. And it has nothing to do with Jesus. It had nothing to do with God. It has to do with you and your sick mind. How could you think that women weren't offended by that bastard? Wanting to take women so far back. And yet you promote it, Greg Abbott. You promoted it, J.D. Vance. All of you promoted it. Why? Because, oh, it's always okay just to walk all over biological women, right? And then you want to complain about your masculinity, and if it doesn't return, if women don't get in their place. Oh, fuck you. None of you wanted to take a lesson from Jesus. Of course you didn't. But you were intimidated by women all the way from 1910 up to this day. And you all show it on the right. The left shows it clearly because of their men dressing up in dresses and wanting to trample on women. But the right shows it too because of Turning Point and Charlie Kirk. I believe it'll be better for younger women. And hopefully true men will enter office, not J.D. Vance, not any of these sides. I'm sick of all of them. I don't trust any of them. All of you support that juvenile Kirk. Why? Because he ran on all these campuses and wanted to put women down. He was very welcoming to the transgenders, though, that were men. Biological men, that is. Of course he would be. That's who you want to support, J.D. Vance. That's who you want to support, Republicans, while you spit in women's face and then you spit in God's face because of it. All because your insecurity with women having any bit of rights. Like, women never wanted to dominate you. I mean, maybe Susie Wiles, because she's like, a cold-hearted biatch. Maybe her. But there's not that many of her in there, and who knows if she's really a her. I don't trust any of them in those roles. But women were never, having rights was never about wanting to dominate you or taking C-suites jobs, okay? You little babies, you little non-masculine men. You and your masculine construct being all so worried about it, when really the construct you should have been having all along, and then life and the world would be much easier, is if you took on the construct of Jesus. Yeah, that would have been, that would have been nice to see. Then we wouldn't have been subjected to the juvenile Charlie Kirk running around like a baby talking about his poor masculinity and what women need to do. No, it's about what you need to do. What you all need to do, you men on the right and you men on the left, is you better get with God. You better start acting more like Jesus, not doing your pretending bullshit at Turning Point, okay? Because God sees through your bullshit, and so do biological women, which is why we are sick of your system. It sucks. Charlie Kirk sucks. Turning Point sucks. And anybody that continues to want to support Turning Point shows that you want to stay a juvenile and you want to serve the dark side.